Hello guys and welcome to 7.3.3, the next installment of the 7.3 walkthroughs and guides. Today we've got the 7.3 path, 7.3.3 path as I just mentioned. The champs that you'll need for this one are mainly mutant attackers, however all attackers do work, and I will show you that later on in the video. The nodes on this path are Acclimation, every 5 hits on the combo meter. Mutant attackers purify all bleed, incinerate and cold snap debuffs on them. This is really helpful with triple threat, which is the other node. Whenever the defender is struck, they have a 50% chance to apply a random incinerate, cold snap or bleed debuff. Debuffs inflicted by triple threat deal 50% of your attack over 20 seconds. The potency of these debuffs reduced by 5% for every 10 hits, so after 100 hits, that is 50%. So, if you can get up to 100 hits quite nicely, then that's ideal. Even 50% does 25% less damage, so that works. And then you've also got use it or lose it. When the attacker fills a bar of power, they have 8 seconds to use a special attack, or 20% of their max power is instantly drained, so you just lose power. And the last but not least, you have Power Shield. All your attacks do no damage, except from special attacks. So yeah, this makes for quite a fun boss, as you could see in that first fight with Black Panther. Because of Kitty Pryde in this path, who is probably the MVP, could use her for every fight. Because you get those incinerates on you when you hit them, or you hit the opponent, you get your temperature goes up. So then obviously if you can get your SP2 and throw that, while also purifying debuffs, you can almost end every fight at 100% if she's awakened, because obviously you don't take any damage while she's phased. And then also you have massive damage because of the temperature going up, so she's really good, as you saw in the Black Panther. This path has Black Panther Classic, Wasp, Taskmaster, American Chavez, Korg and Thing. Before we go any further, bring a Thing counter. You'll see why in a minute. This is all 1.5 speed, just to speed it up and make for get all the information out, make for a little bit of a short video. But for the Thing fight, you need to bring in a counter, because you'll see I use Quicksilver, and that fight, I joke you not, took me 10-15 minutes with Quicksilver. Yeah, I wasn't playing him very well, and his protection did limit off the Whiplash occasionally. But as I said, with those with the sort of combo meter, if you can get up to say 100 hits with a Falcon, you don't take any damage or you take hardly any damage. Your willpower will heal you back up, and actually in the end works for just works a lot nicer. You can obviously be healed up, as you'll see with Quicksilver. He obviously gets more combo, hits on his combo meter, but even then is really, really handy for this one. Definitely bring in a Thing counter, because that fight will take ages. And then with Korg, again, try maybe a Korg counter. Bishop works, Professor X, both really, really good for this one. Bishop especially will do so much damage on his SP2, so if you've got a Bishop, bring him in. But yeah, really, Kitty Pryde is the main one. You could even do that Korg fight with Kitty Pryde if she's awakened, and you're really good at playing her, because then you're able to Dex his SP1. But I'm just unfortunately not good enough at playing her to do that. But if you are, then she works really, really nicely. Other good champs for this: Colossus, being bleed and cold snap immune, only gets the incinerates, but then he's also mutant, so they come off. Cosmic Ghost Rider, incinerate and bleed immune. Kitty Pryde, obviously, Sunspot, Mutant, Apocalypse, any mutant champ really. Archangel works really nicely for this. Then you've got Ghost, because she'll convert them to Furies. Falcon, again, for the Thing, bring him in, or bring in Black Cat, or whoever your go-to Thing counter is, as this will work really, really well. Here, I'm just checking the nodes, because I've got to make sure Quicksilver work. He would have worked as well, so I should have brought him in. The American Chavez is annoying. Her buff hasn't quite come into the game, I don't think. I'm not 100% on that one, but her SP2, keep her to her SP1 and the fight's easy. I push her to the SP2 too many times, and then I just try and phase it. She gets the direct damage, but maybe I didn't play that really as smartly as I should have. I do try and rush through these fights when I definitely could take a bit longer. Which is what I would highly recommend for you guys. again, Kitty Pryde is probably the MVP for this path. Mutant champs work really, really nicely. Other than that, there's it shouldn't be too tricky for you guys. Building up the incinerates on Kitty Pryde really, really helps. Just bring champs who either have high combo meters like Quicksilver or even Squirrel Girl would really work for this, starting at 40. But really any champ can work. Just really bring a Thing counter, because that fight will take ages with the protection. The same with Korg. Other than that, I'll see you in the Thing fight just to talk through it, but this is the Korg fight. So we're at the Thing fight here. I thought maybe I'll try it with Kitty Pryde. It didn't work. I just got clapped by those rock stacks, which were really annoying. So I thought I'll bring in Quicksilver. He gets the slow on Thing. That will work quite well. I do go wrong initially. Revive him up. It does work. You'll see that he actually just ends up healing. Like I'm at 20% at one point, and I go all the way up to 80% health. Just because he gets the slow on his at 300 speed charges. Again, if I was better at playing Quicksilver or had more practice, as he is a recent champ, maybe I could have done this better, but here I get clipped unnecessarily. But once he's got the low momentum, the slow goes on, and you can basically start. The problem with Quicksilver is his special attacks are weak. They don't really do too much damage. It's really all his damage is in that whiplash. So this is definitely a bit of a hindrance. Does make the fight take ages, but like I said, a Falcon bringing in. You'll see here that look, I'm just healing from. You see my bar now. I'm healing up at 80 hits. With willpower on, it's just free healing. Falcon would work really, really well for this. I would highly recommend bringing him in. I definitely wish I'd bought him in. Unfortunately, I didn't. Again, I just rushed through this path instead of restarting it, which is what I should have done. But that Korg was really annoying, and I really didn't want to face him again. So, yeah, I just went in with this Quicksilver instead. This fight is sped up, but still will take absolutely ages. I'll leave you to watch the rest of this fight. As I said, I'm not a massive, I'm not really good with Quicksilver yet, so I probably do play this fight wrong, but I'm hoping to get better at playing him. So yeah, I'll leave you with this one, and the boss fight comes next. So we're back at the boss fight, the character select. Bringing in really here is just Null, because he obviously has that sort of true strike on his or his symbiote attacks can't be evaded. That's because on this one he's got evasive maneuvers, so whenever he gets knocked down he gets an evade charge. However, that's just one, so he only evades once. This gives him the evade charge. Once you try and hit him once, he uses it and then it goes away. Intercepting gives you foresight, which 200% attack rating for 5 seconds, and then you've also got no hit mercy. Each time the defender is knocked down, they gain a cruelty buff. He can hit your he can do crits with this through your block, so be really careful. Just keep him to his SP1. Make sure you get rid of that that charge. Once you have, he's got tenacity 3 on this one, so whenever he's afflicted with a debuff, he has 75% chance to purify it, and then he also ignores evade and miss. So evade champs might not work for this, or champs who are going to miss, so I would say Professor X, don't rely on his falter, but he works really nicely for this because he obviously has that evade counter. So does other good champs for this one are Falcon, as previously stated, Nick Fury, because he's got the miss and evade counter. Apocalypse, again, works well because he counters the tenacity. Magneto works nicely as well. Again, Falcon works, and there are a lot of good counters. You've got Hercules works with his SP1. I believe he counters evade on that one. Then you've also got, as here I tried to use Quicksilver, but it just really doesn't go very well, so I just give up. I use Quicksilver enough for that thing fight. I don't need to use him again. But anyone really who counters evade works. He doesn't have much health. He's a bit of a noodle, or a bit of a wet noodle. So yeah, just bring in your evade counters, and this shouldn't be too much of an issue. Just remember he has the tenacity, so you're not going to be able to use damage and debuffs. So I end up just using Professor X because it does make this fight a lot easier, and he's really becoming a bit of an MVP for all of these 7.2 and 7.3 paths. So I'm really quite glad I've ranked him up. Other than that, this Spider-Man stealth suit isn't too much of an issue. Keep him to his SP1 because it is easier to dex or just to not take any damage from. As you'll see there, I actually end up getting hit quite a few times here, and I just have a team revive. I'm thinking, I may as well just use that. This fight is a lot easier than I've made it look. You know, apart from the evasive measures, there really isn't much going on here. It was late at night. I was just struggling as it was. Intercepts are obviously a key. Get that Fury. You do a lot of damage. Obviously, you guys, if you've got this far, will play this better than me. Or if you get this far and, try not... I would say it's definitely possible without revives. I should have done it and could have done it without revives. I just, as I said, didn't play very well at the time and couldn't really be bothered to restart. There, I even turned down my brightness. It was just too bright. It was too late. My eyes were sore, but I wanted to get this done and get to 7.3.4, which will obviously be the next video coming. That's it for the Spider-Man stealth suit video, the 7.3.3 video. As I said, mutant attackers are sort of the key here. Core counters and a thing counter will work really nicely. Say a Kitty Pryde, Professor X, and Falcon are the 3 I should have bought in but didn't. Kitty Pryde works really nicely, Professor X for Korg, and then Falcon for Thing. And then you really have no issue going into this last fight. That would be sort of the best possible team for this, or just anyone who counters evade or can counter Thing. But yeah, that's it for the video. I hope I've explained everything well enough and you completely get it. Any more questions, leave it in the comments below and I'll get to answering those straight away. Thank you so much for all the support recently, and I saw that we hit 200 subscribers recently. I really appreciate that. I'm really enjoying doing all of these videos and sort of showing my progress all the way through. So yeah, thank you so much for watching that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.